hidden constraints. This is really it. This is the difference in a clinic that does 50 procedures per year versus the one that does 500. This is the difference in the clinic that does 500 versus 1,000. And when we talk about constraints, we really mean the things that you're working on every day. We're all working on things. We're all going to work. We're putting in time and effort. We are solving problems. We're pursuing opportunities. And how do you know that you are fixing the right problems in the practice? That's what I'm going to talk about today for the next few minutes. And the way you know you're not working on the right problems is year after year, you're putting in lots of time, lots of energy, lots of effort. You're still working long weeks, late nights, early mornings, but nothing's changing. Nothing's changing for the better, at least. No extra revenue, no growth, no increased health in the company. That's how you know that you're working on the wrong problems. And I know that because I have wasted lots of time working on the wrong problems. So, hidden constraints. Let's go for it. You could also call this, quote, I want more patients, because I don't think I've met a surgeon yet, maybe one, who says, I'm good. Don't send me another patient. The funnel is fine. We've got plenty of business. And to say in the clinic, I want more patients, can really translate into, all right, where's the money? Sometimes that's what you're referring to as, hey, we want more money here. And there's only 3 ways to get more money in a private practice. You can do more procedures, aka more patients. Number 2, you can get more money from each patient, meaning raise your prices, sell ancillary services, sell add-ons, cross-sell, upsell, post-op, different packages, program fees, things like that. And number 3, you can lower your costs, one of my personal favorites. But today, we're going to focus on the more patients because it's almost like most clinics are saying, where's that big button with more patients on it? And I just want to smack that, right? Surgeon sees a hole in the schedule, you have a down month or 2, and you say, bring me more patients. And what I would like to expand upon is the 3 levels of the funnel. So we call it a funnel. Every business in the world has if you picture a giant funnel, it's big at the top, it's small at the bottom, and at the top is everyone in the world. And they have to become visitors for you. They have to see your business, right? They have to have their eyeballs, usually on your website, not literally on the front door. So there's 3 key levels. There's visits to leads for the practice. We count a lead as someone who gives you their first name, their last name, their contact information, and you have permission to contact them, to reach out, to follow up. Number 2 is leads to consults, and number 3 is how many consults go to surgery. So I'll break this down really snappy. Where do visitors come from? They come from somewhere on planet Earth. And you say, let's get a little more specific. Okay, well, let's say you're in the state of Georgia. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Most of our patients are from Georgia, and even more specifically, you say, we are the greater Atlanta area. So now we know where your people come from, right? You have referrals, you have ads, you have website traffic. There's lots of eyeballs floating around. Typically, we see a very small percentage of those eyeballs hit the website and stick as a lead, but some of them do. So let's go. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on how you get eyeballs to the site. That's a separate conversation. But I'm going to spend time on step 2. How many of those leads go to consult? There are hidden constraints there because your website's capturing leads, and a certain percentage of those people are making their way through the steps that you've put up or the steps that exist for them to walk into the front door. And there are hidden constraints there. What are the hidden constraints from lead to consult? Here's a short list. There's no follow-up with those leads, right? They call or they email, they fill out a form, they reach out, and there's no follow-up or it's too slow. We see that potential patients, they want to hear back not in a few days, certainly not in a couple weeks, not even a day. They want to hear back the same day, and ideally within the hour. So slow follow-up, bad phone skills, slow insurance checks, people calling in asking for price, and staff just giving the price with no context, with basically with no sales effort. Or maybe patient can't get in soon enough, right? They're excited, they reach out, they say, I want to see the surgeon, and they say, great, we'll see you in 4 weeks. Right, that deal has a high probability of never happening. Okay, that's step 2. Let's go step 3. Step 3 is, okay, we've got people coming in the front door, so we have leads from the earth, from the state of Georgia, from the city of Atlanta, coming to the website. some of those becoming leads that staff is interacting with. There's some follow-up happening, and some of those people are going to walk through our front door. The golden eggs, right? What you've done, you put all this time, energy, and effort, staff, equipment, insurance. You've done all this to get people to walk in that front door and have a consult. And there are a certain percentage of those first initial consults that are going to go on to surgery. But this big level has its own set of hidden constraints. What are those? What keeps people at the consult or from consult? What keeps them from going to surgery, to the revenue generating event? Here's a short list. They had a poor experience. The intake process was, it's messy, right? Something got mistyped or mistaken over the phone. Long wait times. Maybe the consult was bad. Maybe the financial piece was not presented well, right? It was a big downer. They got, just poor financial presentation. Maybe the whole process is so confusing. We see this a lot, right? You ask people to do 15 things, they do none. Going into an initial consult is like going into a big, important presentation. You remember the first part, something out of the middle, and the very end. And typically those aren't super sharp. They're not well done. And maybe even after consult, there's no follow-up. Right? I've sat in with patients who said the clinic gives them all the paperwork and says, we cannot wait to see you at your next appointment on your way to surgery. And then the patient says to me, man, this just seems like a big step. It's very confusing, right? There's no way they're moving on to surgery, but the staff thinks that they are. And also another one is just no pricing packages. So people just come in, they only have one option. Hey, it's $7,500, take it or leave it, and they leave it. So, this is, I couldn't fit this on a slide, unfortunately, but we could stop here. I'm gonna go on, and if I can manage to simplify this is where the magic happens. So stick with me here. This is not long algebra. This is fairly simple, but remember, we started with lots of website visits. Let's say out of all those visits, who cares? Call it 1,000, call it 10,000, we don't care. But 200 people a month become a lead for you. They give you contact information, or they complete a form, or they make a phone call. They become a lead pursuing your practice as a solution. And 25% of those, is that right? Sorry, where am I? I'm already losing my math. 50, I'm confusing myself. 50 of those leads come in the front door for a consult. So 50 out of 200 walked in the front door. Not bad, could be better. And your conversion rate when you see those 50 consults is 50%, meaning half of them go on all the way. They make it to surgery, to the revenue generating event. I hope that makes sense. So 200 leads. Out of those 200 leads, we get 50 consults. Out of those 50 consults, we get 25 surgeries. We're just grabbing a number out of the air for simple math. But procedure is going to be worth $4,000. So 25 surgeries a month times $4,000. Hey, we got $100,000 of revenue right here in this little system. And this is the magic right here. Because if you say, all right, what's the upgraded option? What if we optimize those hidden constraints, which are what? Which are these? Which is, what if we fine-tune follow-up? What if we do a little training for phone skills? What if we optimize our insurance process? What if we give a script and a piece of paper for how to present the price after the consult? What if we fine-tune that like a well-oiled machine? This doesn't cost any more dollars for marketing, right? This is not the typical approach, which is, hey, we want to grow. We want to double our surgical volume. And everyone starts saying, well, you got to spend more on marketing. You better double your marketing budget. That is not the case here. Maybe do that, but not before all of these are optimized. So just check this out. Stay with me. Stay with me. If we upgrade and we fix those hidden constraints, so remember in the past we had 200 visits to leads. We're going to make that 25% better, and we have absolutely seen clinics make that 25% better. So we're going to go from 200 leads a month. We're going to bump that up to 250. The lead to consult. So we were at 50, so we were at 25% of our total visits becoming leads. We're just gonna bump that up 10%, just a very conservative 10% increase from 25% to 35%. But remember, the 25% was coming off our old number. Now we've increased to 35% of our new number. So how many consults are we doing a month? We were doing 50. Now we're doing 80 7 consults a month. And then the last key step of that funnel is consult to surgery. We were at 25, so we were hovering around 50% conversion rate from consult all the way to surgery. We're going to just bump that up 10%. We're going to get 10% better, fix a couple of those inefficient things after the consult or at the consult. So we're going to go from 50% conversion rate just up to 60, and we have absolutely seen a 10% increase in conversion rate. And 50% was of the old number, right? It was of the 50. Now we're at 60%, but it's 60% of the new number. So 60% of consults go to surgery, and we're pulling 60% of 87, which is 52. So the old way was 25 surgeries a month times $4,000, $100,000 months. The optimized way is 52 surgeries a month times $4,000. So we more than doubled to $208,000 per month. Whew! And that is the power of optimizing and fixing those hidden constraints.